Hey everybody, Sneb here. I'm going to cut straight to the chase. I've tried to make this video like 100 times and I get really nervous every single time, and then I get really long-winded and it doesn't really amount to anything. So I'll just try to cut to the chase. In 2020, I was in a master's program and I really struggled. I wanted to become a professor, but the pandemic was really hard on me and I ended up deviating from that goal. I then had two kids. I now have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old daughter, both daughters. And I'm married and I've been just kind of working this 9 to 5. But one day I woke up and I realized that I wasn't following my dream. So I did something stupid and crazy and I started pursuing a PhD. Like, how could I get in? I took these crazy tests. I spent like a stupid amount of money on these exams, did really poorly on them to begin with, but I bolstered my math skills and I eventually was able to get into a program. And it's an absolute dream come true, but with this dream comes a lot of uncertainty, a lot of risk, and a lot of fear. I'm really worried about what's going to happen in the fall. And the situation is that I'm actually going to be living away from my family. They're going to be about 2 hours away during the week, and then I'm going to commute back a lot of the time. So I'll essentially have 2 places that I'm sleeping for who knows how long, maybe a year or 2. And I'm afraid that I'm going to have to quit streaming. And I don't want to because I really love streaming. And I've always treated this as a hobby, a way to make friends, a creative outlet. I'm not the best video editor. I don't know the most about the game. I'm just a guy who really cares. And one day in 2020, I decided to try to throw some statics together. And now we have 140 groups, over 1,000 people across all of these different teams in our little raid community. I don't want to give it up. I don't want to quit. And I'm afraid that if I don't do something, if I don't ask for a little bit of help, that I'm going to have to do that. The situation is I'm going to need to get another computer because my current setup is too big and whatever for the space that I'm going to have in this other place. I'm just renting like a small room in a basement from a retired couple so that I have somewhere to sleep. I'm going to need something. And because there's so much uncertainty right now, I'm really afraid to go out and spend a whole bunch of money because I just have no idea what could happen, right? This is all very new. I'm quitting my job. My income is going to be changing. And my wife, she started a new career last year, so she has a very large variable income. So she's picked up a little bit more work. Anyway, you don't need to know all that, but I'm very stressed about it. And so I found, I thought about this and thought maybe there's a way that the community could help me. I've put a lot of time into the community. I've never asked for anything back really, because I'm just happy that I get to see people get into raids or join a team. Some people have like started relationships. It's like super cool. And that's really all the satisfaction I've ever needed. But I'm just afraid of losing that creative outlet come the fall. So I figured there's a very easy way that you can support me. And the way is because I'm an Arena partner, should there be an expansion announcement and a pre-purchase option, if you click my link and pre-purchase the game, I'll get a small kickback. And if enough people do that, I think I could afford to get a PC, and that would help me tremendously. Now, there have been a few people that have said, hey, why don't you do a Patreon and stuff? I've just never really been about that. I've never like really monetized my channel very hard because it's never really been the goal. I will make one because a few people have directly requested it, but the best way you can help me is use like a Twitch Prime, because if you've already got that, it'll cost you nothing extra. Or if you're already going to bite the game, just like click that link. And if you know someone else that can do those things, then maybe share this with them. But I just want to be very clear that I'm just grateful that this exists, and I want to keep it going. I feel like when I'm in that PhD and there's going to be some really hard days, that being able to go home and just like flip on the stream and like talk to the community or help build the community or do whatever, I think that's going to be a really big deal for me. So, it's really hard for me to ask for help. I've consulted like 20 different people about this now because I'm usually the one that helps, not the one that asks for help. So this is me asking for your support. If there's an expansion launch that happens, if there's a pre-purchase, please use my link. I have a couple months to go. I'm going to do some like side hustles and stuff too to try to make like a little bit of extra cash to get a PC. but doing this would help me so much and would help me pursue my dream of getting a PhD and doing research on influencers and gambling endorsements. So I want to change the world and make it a better place. And I'm really excited that I get to do that, but I'm just really worried about the future. And streaming, I hope, is part of my future because I just love doing this and I love helping build the Skein gang. So anyway, I could ramble on more, but thank you for listening. Just click that link and it will help me a lot. I appreciate you guys so much. The Guild Wars 2 community has been so kind to me and so good. I've made so many friends. I've met people in Chicago and Seattle and Texas and in Canada, and it's amazing. So thank you. And I will hopefully see you soon. Thank you.